Welcome in, everyone. I'm Renee, the visionary here at the Phoenix Uprising. The universe engages with each of us in a multitude of ways, and it's no coincidence that this particular reading has crossed your path at this pivotal point in your journey. Throughout this video, you will see intuitively selected images that I've chosen meant to reflect the current energy and help you tap into your own intuition. This is a general collective reading, so take what resonates and leave the rest for others. Please note that I am not a medical professional, and these readings are meant solely for your enjoyment. I'm going to start the reading by clearing the space of any residual energy. You will hear a series of 3 chimes starting now. Next, I'm going to light my candle of intention, and if you have a candle close by, you can go ahead and light yours and set your focus for the reading. If you have any specific questions for Source, I encourage you to ask those questions now. Let's begin. I'm seeing the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands talks about envisioning the future, expansion, foresight, growth, taking a proactive step toward your goals and dreams. Judgment. Judgment represents reflection on the past and making a life-altering decision. It's also connected to rebirth and transformation, a spiritual awakening. Spirit animals. I'm seeing the orangutan and the wolf. Orangutans, unlike other great apes, live primarily in solitude, with the exception of females with offspring. In contrast, wolves live in packs typically, but I feel like perhaps you're in a lone wolf era. Maybe your kids are nearly grown or already out of the house. I feel like you're in a transition period from the pack to a lone wolf energy, perhaps. And you're wondering how to move forward. Who are you now? Who are you besides mom, wife, caregiver to your parents, perhaps? This is very new to you. When we have these roles for so long, it's jarring when those roles not necessarily come to a complete end, but they certainly change to a degree where it feels brand new, right? Maybe you're in this energy of moving into a space where you are alone, and it's not a bad thing, it's just different for you, right? In God we trust. A plan you've been working on is finally going to take shape, and you haven't even met all the people who will love you. I feel like your faith in God, Source, the universe, and not only that, but faith in yourself has carried you through a lot in your lifetime, and that will be what carries you through this portion of your journey as well. I feel like you're going to be presented with a gift or a reason to celebrate, or perhaps you're going to be receiving a new spiritual gift, or you will find that you have a spiritual gift awakening. And for some reason, I'm getting that is an exchange for healing parts of your inner child. You've done a lot of work on your inner child wounds, finding ways to enjoy the holidays and birthdays, particularly after a loss, perhaps a divorce, or your kids leaving the nest. You feel a great loss in some way. Perhaps you've lost a spouse, or you've lost a child, or you were a caregiver for parents who are no longer with you. This could also be receiving confirmation or messages from someone who has passed on that will benefit you in the future in some way, in helping you to move forward. The challenges that I'm hearing are insomnia and indecision. I feel like at this time you may be having a hard time quieting your thoughts, like your mind is just racing on how things are supposed to go, how things are supposed to look. What will I do with myself now? I'm not sure where I fit in anymore. I think that's natural to feel that way when you're transitioning from one role to the next. the indecision, you have a few reservations on how best to move forward now that you have less obligations to others. Now is the time to focus on the things that you would like to do. I'm hearing recipe for success. Find what works for you no matter how it looks to others. That may mean a move. I'm also hearing a beneficial collaboration. Someone who will play a pivotal role in your journey will be entering your life very soon, perhaps in the next couple of weeks. Someone who will inspire you to take action toward a lifelong dream, which makes sense with the Judgment card here, making a life-altering decision, right? And this person doesn't necessarily have to be a significant other. It could be a coworker, someone that you want to collab with in a work environment, something that you've been working on or had thoughts to start working on, something for yourself. Someone will be entering your life that will be pivotal for that. They will move you forward in your plans in some way. And I feel like Spirit is telling you to accept the help. You may have a hard time accepting help from others, especially if you're one of those people where everyone tends to lean on you for things. People like that sometimes have a problem accepting help, even if it could be very beneficial for them. It's time to start focusing on the things that you may have put off to be a wife, a mom, a caregiver. Those things can now be explored. What is one thing that you would like to accomplish for yourself? Not for anyone else, but for you. Whatever that thing is, that's the plan that you've been either actively working on or Spirit is telling you it is time to activate the plan for that. This is something that you probably put off doing for yourself in order to care for others. And I think as mothers and wives or caregivers for parents, we do put things off. Other things take precedence over the things that we would like to accomplish for ourselves sometimes, and that's okay. But I feel like you're moving into the lone wolf energy and this orangutan energy where you're finding yourself with more time to do and focus on what you would like to do. And the universe is ready to facilitate that. In fact, you're being given a beneficial collaboration to do just that. And not only that, but with this receiving card, you're either receiving a spiritual gift, a new spiritual mindset, a new set of spiritual practices as a reward for some kind of inner work that you've been doing. And I feel like it's work on your inner child, inner traumas from childhood, to be specific. Recipe for success, right? I mean, however you choose to move forward, there may be some people who object to this, right? Because maybe these are the people that have benefited from you putting all of your efforts into them. You need to find what works for you, no matter how it appears to other people. Anytime that you implement changes, I feel like humans can be selfish creatures, right? The more you do for some, the more they want you to do for them. But I feel like this is your season, and that doesn't make you selfish. You've put a lot of effort into others, and it's time to start filling your own cup, working toward things that will benefit you. Perhaps you're divorced or your kids have left the nest and you have no retirement set up for yourself. You're trying to navigate in your own mind what you're going to do with yourself, basically, for the time that you may have left in this world, right? How do you want to spend those years? We're not promised tomorrow. I'm seeing hawthorn. Hawthorn has a mild sedative effect. It's often used to combat circulation problems, high blood pressure, anxiety. I would do some research on hawthorn. Ceylon cinnamon, well, that's actually been proven to be good for hay fever. It combats indigestion, aids in balancing hormones. And lavender, I'm seeing lavender. I feel like either lavender is already a confirmation for you in some way. Maybe it reminds you of someone, perhaps someone that's passed on. the smell of lavender or the actual flower will be an indicator of the person who will play that pivotal role in your journey, as a confirmation either in your own mind or from past loved ones, as a way to let you know that, hey, this is the person that we've sent to help you. This is the person that is meant to help you on your journey. And I'm really hearing, take the help, take the assistance, because it's going to have more far-reaching effects for your future than you can imagine. I don't necessarily think this is going to be a new significant other. I just feel like you're not in that energy right now. I'm hearing been there, done that, right? I mean, I understand that energy as well. The lavender will be an indicator for you. You're choosing to move forward in a way that seems odd to some of those around you, and that's okay. This recipe for success, you need to do what works for you. If that's building out a van and traveling the country to find out where you would like to be, do it. If it's moving to the beach because you always wanted to live there, that got put on the back burner because, you had other obligations, look into it. What would you have to do to actually make that happen for yourself? You've always dreamed of opening, insert business here, right? Whatever that business is. But you never did because you had other obligations. A plan that you've been rolling around in your head, perhaps for years. I feel like it could be time for you to really start taking that plan seriously, whatever that is for you. Since Ceylon cinnamon did come up, insomnia is one of the symptoms of having unbalanced hormones. Brain fog, I think that could go along with indecision as well. That is something also you need to do some research on. There's something with that there, I feel like, for you. When you get your hormones balanced after they've been out of balance for so long, you can feel like a brand new person. There's definitely growth that's trying to come in here, expansion. You're going through a rebirth and transformative time with this judgment card, and there's a life-altering decision that's going to be made soon. And I would not let that cause a flood of anxiety. Being afraid to make the wrong choice can lead you to indecision, where you're just sort of hanging on the fence, not knowing which way to go. I would say whichever path leads you to peace. The thought of it coming together really brings you to a peaceful state. Perhaps that's the correct choice. Not that things that are worth having don't sometimes bring some strife with it, but if it's overly complicated or if you feel completely overwhelmed by it, maybe that's not the path for you. I feel like you need to look at this objectively, not necessarily led by your emotions, but how does each path make you feel? For instance, should I move? Should I stay close to maybe your kids? Part of you wants to stay close to your kids. Part of you would like to explore. I mean, in this day and age, there's a lot of ways to stay in contact with people that there weren't before. Don't guilt yourself or allow others to guilt you into remaining in a stagnant place so that you can be within arm's reach. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing that. Maybe having a home base in an area where your loved ones are, but don't let that stop you from moving the way that works for you. It doesn't matter what it looks like to other people. In the end, you are living your life, not everyone else's. You've moved through all of your obligations where other people are concerned. Your kids are grown enough to take care of themselves and do their own thing. Maybe your parents are no longer in the picture. Maybe your spouse is no longer in the picture. I feel like this is you, Tom. Lone wolf Tom, the orangutan. You don't have to live in troops because you don't have little kids anymore. I feel like for those of you that I'm talking to, you're really in that era of finding who you are again. Who are you besides mom? And there's nothing wrong with asking that question, okay? Who were you before you were a mom? Well, if you were a mom early in life. If you were a wife early in life, you may not have had the opportunity to really explore who you were. I feel like you're getting that opportunity now. If you've been taking care of parents, aging parents, that's a big job. It's a rewarding job, sure, but it is a big job. I'm getting the energy like you have consistently taken care of others. You've taken on responsibilities that were yours. Maybe some of them weren't yours, but you took them on anyway. And now you have come to a point where it's time to focus on you. Don't feel bad for that at all. Make the move. Start the business. Life is short. Enjoy it. It's okay to do things for yourself. It's okay to put focus on what you would like to have. How do you see yourself enjoying life in the time that you have left on this planet? The universe supports whatever you would like to do. Maybe the spiritual gift that you're getting is discernment. Maybe that will help you through this indecision or any feelings of guilt that you're having about putting yourself first. I feel like forward movement is going to happen very quickly in the next few weeks, because I feel like this person will be introduced very soon. In fact, you may have already met them. You just don't realize the role that they're going to play yet. You're going to have reason to celebrate. Find the path that works for you. Ultimately, that decision is yours. You don't need anyone else's input on that, truly. Only you know how you feel and how you want to move forward. And perhaps there's a lot of people around you who are offering suggestions or offering their opinions on how you should live your life. And it's okay to shut that down. You can't please everyone. Not everyone's going to like that kind of stance. And that's okay. That's okay. Live a life that is suited to you. The universe wants to reward you for all the work you've done on yourself, for all the responsibilities that you've carried over the years. Put some focus on what you would like to do. I really am getting just a vision of a lone wolf out in the woods, throwing its head back and howling at the moon, right? Maybe you feel like howling at the moon. Answer that call, right? Maybe there is something calling to you, or your calling is calling, Maybe wolves and the full moon and all that's significant for you. Maybe that wild part of you is calling. The part of you that, like the wolf, travels in the wilderness and explores and is unafraid. Maybe you would like to be out in nature more. Well, get out in nature more then. Heed that call. It's been my experience that whatever your calling is will keep calling until you pick up. Maybe you've had something all throughout your life that you knew you were supposed to be doing. You've known it for a long time. And if that's you, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Whatever it is, you know that you were meant to do this thing. And for a lot of reasons, right, it could have been put off. Well, now's the time, I feel like. Now is the time. Now is the time to work toward that goal. Now is the time to focus on you, perhaps for the first time in a very, very long time. I feel like you are stepping into that lone wolf energy, and it's glorious, really. You will be the most at peace and have such a fulfilled and joyous heart when you do that thing that has been placed on the back burner for years and years, I feel like. It's a life-altering decision, literally. You will be living a totally different life than you have lived before. I would say get to it. Get to it. As always, I pray for your abundance in all good things and encourage you to take the next step of your journey with confidence and a renewed sense of hope. I like to leave you with the food for thought quote of the day. And today's quote is, "A lone wolf woman thrives in the wilderness of her independence, writing her own story in the stars. Unknown. Only up from here, and together we rise."